So you're in my body and I'm in your body.
I beg your pardon?
I'm like the Crypt Keeper!
So, Freaky Friday then, from 2003. It's your standard body swap comedy. So you've got Jamie Lee Curtis, who plays a mother to Lindsay Lohan's angsty teenage daughter. They swap bodies and experience a little bit of what it's like to walk a mile in the other person's shoes. Alice, you picked this one, so tell us a little bit about why you picked it.
So I picked Freaky Friday because I thought it might be a little bit underrated. So if we look at IMDB at the time of recording, it gets a 6.3 out of 10. And then over on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics give it 88%, which is quite high from them. But the reason that I picked this was that the audience gave it 57%. And I thought that was a little bit harsh. It was one that I really enjoyed when I was a lot younger. But watching it again this time, it was actually so much better than I thought it was going to be. It's actually really well constructed and really well written. We get a lot of signs and signals about who these characters are without the film having to tell us explicitly. The real stand-up for me in this is the performances. So Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, I just think are fabulous, and they've got such a big task on their hands because they're not only playing the characters that they are, so the busy workaholic mother and then the angsty teenage daughter, but then they also body swap and they have to act as each other. They've got great chemistry with one another. They're really convincing, and there's just something about Jamie Lee Curtis. When she's on screen, she is just a powerhouse for me. I'm such a huge fan of hers, and I think she brings a real authenticity to this role and just such a likability. Her character could have really easily turned into this big maniacal Disney villain-esque of a mum where she's just really mean and over the top, but she isn't like that at all. She feels really real and really grounded, and I think that's a lot to do with Jamie Lee Curtis's performance.
It's very formulaic, but it's a well-done formula, and there's a reason why people keep coming back to it, because it's sort of you can get so much comedy out of that idea of two people playing each other. And I do think they use it to good effect in this, not only for comedy, but also there's some quite emotional bits towards the end. There's a good exploration in there without spoiling it around loss and grief and why there's a strained relationship between the two of them. So I thought that was really good. It's really easy for people to be snippy about this sort of thing and sort of rip it apart if they don't like it. But you know what? It might not be for you, but that doesn't mean it's a bad film. Does it get right what it needs to get right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Was there anything you didn't like?
There weren't any major offenders, to be fair, but the main thing was that I wasn't totally satisfied with the ending. So as we're leading up to when they obviously eventually swap back bodies and they're back to their original selves, the lead up to this I just thought was a little bit weak, and it felt like some of the dialogue choices were a bit misplaced. So I kind of found it a little bit anticlimactic overall.
Based on those scores that you said, I would say it is underrated. What about you?
I think it has so much to offer. I think it's really well written, well developed. It's funnier than I thought it was going to be and a lot more heartwarming than I remember. So yeah, I do think those scores are a little bit harsh and that it is underrated.